The face of mining has changed dramatically since minerals first came to man's attention thousands of years ago. Today, mining is done by employing the use of specialized technology. The increasing complexity of the mining process and use of technology nowadays require a higher level of skills, including computer literacy. Machine operators require specialized training to operate and handle increasingly complex equipment which is used in the extraction process. Prospecting for new gold deposits now requires the ability to interpret technical data. Being equipped with these skills is becoming more a necessity as new and innovative techniques for gold and diamond extraction continue to be introduced. This week on El Dorado Shines, we will take a closer look at the measures being taken in Guyana to ensure miners and operators are equipped with the skills and knowledge the industry now requires. In this regard, the Guyana Mining School and Training Center was established to help boost the capabilities of operators in the industry as well as provide training to those looking to embark on a career in mining.
The Guyana Mining School would have been born out of a survey that was conducted by the Technical Vocational Educational Training and the Statistic Unit of the Ministry of Labor and Human Services. And in that survey of the mining sector, which was conducted in January 2012, it saw that there were several key areas in the sector where there is a need for training and development of human capital to service the industry. And these areas range from technical areas such as operators, servicemen, servicewomen, to managerial positions in some cases. And so the mining school saw or was developed because of this niche existing where we can play a part in developing human resource in these various areas that have been outlined in this skills needs survey.
A number of courses to address the immediate needs in the sector are expected to come on stream this year.
The Guyana Mining School would have launched a program whereby it would have rolled out maybe about 20 courses that will be executed over this year, 2014. And those courses will seek to address the needs that exist in these areas as it relates to training persons to become excavator operators. We know excavator operators is a very critical occupation in the extractive sector. And there are sometimes great shortages of these persons. Also, you have persons who can repair and maintain these equipment. But more importantly, we saw the need for miners to be empowered.
Exploiting Guyana's vast mineral reserves means the human resources would have to be specially trained and equipped to undertake this task. Authorities recognize this and hope the introduction of this new facility will quickly address the need.
We have not even begun to tap in to our mineral potential. There is great potential that exists. But in order for us to realize that potential or to make use of the potential, we need to empower our normal citizens, the normal man or woman in the streets who wish to be interested in how to get into mining, who may not have had exposures in mining before, may not have any experience, may not even have a clue as to what to do, even to apply for a piece of land. But there is a need to empower such people because jobs are being created in the industry. We have large influx of foreigners who are coming into our country and are making use of the potentials that exist. So there lies the need. Why not our citizens of Guyana be empowered to utilize our resources as well.
A career in mining and mineral engineering is never boring. Mining engineers are responsible for the planning, preparation, design and construction of a mine, its facilities and the extraction of all metal and non-metallic materials. Prospecting is the act of searching for new gold deposits. The methods used depend on the type of deposit sought and the resources of the prospector. Training persons in this field is one of the first tasks of the mining school.
Prospectors will be someone who understand how to go about doing some research on where there is gold, where there is not gold, being able how to apply for a land, whether it's a claim, a block or a prospecting permit, medium scale, a mining permit, and being able to explain to those persons not just how to apply for the land, but how you can plan your operation. How can you plan your operation given the fact that your operation is located in a mountainous terrain, in a remote terrain, how close it is to a landing, transportation, main transport arteries. What are the parameters that are needed to be considered before you actually invest in a piece of mining equipment such as a dredge or an excavator.
Technical skills such as map reading is important for prospectors since it provides detailed information on the most suitable locations for mining. The school's curriculum for long-term programs has been designed to cater for the critical areas in the industry that require specialized training and expertise.
The curriculum, as it relates to the full-time course or the full-time diploma, is split into two streams. There is the surface mining operations and there's the exploration operations. The surface mining will be geared for persons who would want to get into more mining planning kind of activities, where it ranges from land rehabilitation, land reclamation, being able to do mine plans, being able to look at non-mercury recovery systems and how you can be able to adapt these systems based on the soil characteristics within which you're working, finding out which system is more suitable to be used. It also will include basics in statistical tools that they can be able to use to examine data and be able to arrive at decisions. GIS applications will be taught to such persons. On the other side, which is the exploration operations, those persons will be more biased to prospecting, and prospecting at the level of a technician, that they can function in an organization, let's say a large-scale organization, as a grade control technician or as a field assistant or a senior field assistant or a senior prospector. We recognize this is not a diploma that will be on par with the University of Guyana diploma, but it will serve to empower persons who we can refer to will be tradesmen level that will be needed in the industry.
Additionally, training material has been developed to deal specifically with mining activities and related challenges.
There are some other curriculum material that we have designed, and that has to do with the short modularized courses, and these courses will be more defined for miners and for the challenges that exist in the industry. We know that the industry has challenges as it relates to moving away from the use of mercury. We know the industry have challenges as it relates to being able to reduce the muddiness of the water that is coming off of your sluice box and being able to recycle that water. And there are other challenges that exist. And so the short courses that we are designing will seek to institutionalize research work that would have been done and will be done in the future, and to institutionalize it in such a way that it is represented and reflected in a curriculum that will then be administered to minors.
Engineers conduct geological and geotechnical studies to determine the suitability of locations for new mine developments. The Guyana Mining School and Training Center will equip individuals with this skill. Check us out on the internet for this and every episode of Eldorado Shines. Just go to YouTube, search for Eldorado Shines and start watching, or like us on Facebook and receive instant updates. The Guyana Mining School will be providing courses both for active miners and persons now looking to embark on a career in the industry.
The Guyana Mining School would have designed its curriculum to cater for two main audiences. There's the audience where you have got miners who are in their locations, their mining operations, whether it's in Northwest, Madhya, or wherever it is in the bush, and they don't have the time nor can they invest the resource to come to Georgetown or come to Linden or to Bartica to be engaged in a full-time training. Rather, they will be beneficiaries of the short courses that are modularized that we extend to these miners by taking our professionals to the bush and setting up mobile training sites.
Trainees are admitted to the school without any preconditions besides having a genuine desire to learn.
We have got at the basic level no requirement in terms of previous educational background. Once a miner have a basic level of literacy, being able to read and to write, they will be able to do just well in this course. And even in the event that you want to get into the school, but you're a bit ashamed, or you may have dropped out of school at the primary level, we have got remedial courses. We're going to be working with the Adult Education Association to do remedial courses in English and numeracy, so that persons who we identify that needs this assistance can be given that assistance.
A lengthier training program will be offered to persons looking to embark on a long-term career in the industry.
As it relates to the full-time courses, that's for a different audience. And that audience is for persons who've got the time, to invest in a 2-year course of study that will transform their lives and make them prepared to function in the industry at the level of technicians and tradesmen and tradeswomen. The 2-year diploma in surface exploration or mining operations will be geared to empower persons how to go about prospecting a property. They are going to go through a more methodological way of analyzing the data, of planning a project to do a prospecting program, of examining the results, creating computer-generated maps, doing analysis of the data, whether it's statistical analysis and so on. As well as we are going to be grooming such persons to give them a foundation that may be required if they would want to proceed on to further education at, let's say, the University of Guyana.
The mining school will be looking to engage stakeholders in the education sector to establish a system that would allow for graduates of the school to move on to the University of Guyana.
We are hoping that by engaging our stakeholders, such as the University of Guyana, that they will be able to look at our full-time curriculum and be able to adopt it and allow us to have some transition of persons who would have done a 2-year course of studies with us to be able to have some level of exemptions from courses.
Many careers exist within mining operations. These include blasters, drillers, excavators, prospectors, and mining engineering technologists and technicians. Training sessions have been ongoing in several mining communities across the country. Miners at these locations have been fully participating in these exercises.
We have been executing short courses in Madhya, Port Kaituma, Northwest, Bartica, Linden, and in Kingston in Georgetown. So we have had 5 places where we have been rotating our training courses. The feedback we've received have been very positive. This is evident from the Guyana Gold and Diamond Miners Association missive that they would have released earlier in the year when we conducted our training course at their headquarters.
After being exposed to the training program and learning how the use of technology can greatly help them in the field, participants in the 2-day course often point out that more time would be welcomed.
Miners will always say we want more time. It's a 2-day course, and when people get a hang of using the GPS and the map and they understand that they could do it, they want to turn into a professional, and they would want you to be there to guide them. It will be nice to do that, but then at the same time we recognize the risk involved with putting a course for 5 days. Sometimes it will not be appealing for miners to attend. You'll find sometimes that there will be dropout rates, and there's a trade-off that is being made as to increasing the time period.
Taking the concerns and expectations of participants into consideration, the mining school will also be offering longer training sessions for prospectors who move on to the next level.
At the next level of training, which will be the level 2 or the intermediate level training of prospectors, we will be able to deal with that appetite that exists in miners for more practice and practical work. And so that will be a more 3 weeks duration course. It will be more field-based. It will be based in OMI site. And we'll be working with organizations like the Guyana Women Miners Organization to execute that kind of training for their women miners. And that will be a course that will take them from a level 1 prospector to a level 2 prospector, meaning that they are able to function without supervision, and they're more versed. They're more versed in not just reading the maps and using GPS and compass, but they're also going to be induced into use of computer programs such as MapInfo, professional GIS programs in general, and using those programs to download information from your GPS into your maps, creating maps, being able to know how to do searches for lands, and that's a critical function.
Being equipped with the knowledge and expertise to address some of their own concerns, the mining school will provide participants with vital skills to improve and enhance their operations.
One of the most critical things that miners want to know is where you got land available, and if it's available, what supporting information exists to inform you that this land has a potential for gold, or should I go and prospect it in more detail. The intermediate level course seeks to drive home how you can go about achieving just that, how you can be able to know how to go and do a search using the software, how you can be able to overlay goal results, geological results, structures, and be able to come up with a decision as to where you might have a higher potential for a goal occurring and where not to go, where there's lowest potential.
Guyana is pushing for human resources development in the extractive sector so that miners can be better equipped with the knowledge of effective mining practices on a world-class level. To learn more about the new litter prevention regulations, visit the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Environment's website at www.nre.gov.gy and click on the link Pick It Up Guyana. Like all other businesses, the primary objective of mining is to make a profit. Good financial management is therefore essential to ensure this goal is achieved.
We have a course that is called Small Mine Planning Operations. In that course, not only are we going to be empowering the miners and persons who want to get into mining, what are the factors they need to consider before purchasing an equipment, what are the factors they need to consider of locating of your campgrounds, because you have to consider the topography, whether you're going to put your campground in a valley, would you put it on a higher topography, will it be accessible to water, running water, what will be your transportation network to get your supplies in, what will be your exit strategy in the case of an emergency, how do you relate to other miners, what are the occupational health and safety requirements that are needed, particularly when you're going to be doing the actual mining.
The Guyana Mining School will also be working closely with other players in the sector to address concerns that have a direct impact on the performance of the industry.
The Guyana Mining School stands ready to work with all stakeholders who might be affected by any part of the process or any process that relates to the extractive sector. And so we are able to work, for example, with the Security and Compliance Committee of the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission Board of Directors. This committee has been established by the board to look at particularly what are the challenges that miners will face, that the GGMC officers will face as they function in the industry.
Over the remainder of 2014, the Guyana Mining School will train several hundred persons across the country in various aspects of mining operations. The school has already completed some of the training and, from all indications, is well on the way to achieving its targets.
We want to train 510 persons at the introductory level in map reading, GPS navigation, and so on, in all of the areas in Guyana. To date, we have already trained 260 persons, so we're on target to achieving this set objective. We also recognize that there is need to train persons to be excavator operators. And so we've set ourselves to train about 325 persons. We will facilitate the training by working with suppliers such as Macorp and other suppliers who can deliver this type of training. We want to train persons to be diesel engine servicemen and women, specifically for hydraulic mining engines.
In the world today, there are in excess of 10 million what we call climate refugees. And many of these refugees are a result of what we see, not only extreme weather pattern, but also what we recognize, the reality of sea level rise. And in Guyana, we are fortunate, one, that we have a level of awareness amongst our national population. We're fortunate to the fact that as a government, over the years, we recognize that the issue of the environment, the issue of taking the necessary policy programs as well as projects should be given a priority. And as my colleague minister pointed out, that the protection of our coastline is linked, in fact, to our economic as well as our social existence in Guyana. And the same can be said for many states, that is the small island developing states, because we fought and we were able to gain the recognition that we are as vulnerable as small island developing states in terms of the threat to sea level rise. But in Guyana, when we talk about we are in a good position in terms of awareness, in terms of policies, in terms of what government has been doing, our ability to mobilize the international community, we also need to do much more. We also need to do much more at the local level, at what we can consider the municipal or regional level, and also to support what we're doing at the national level.
You've been watching El Dorado Shines. Do join us again next week for another program. Until then, do remember that we all have a role to play in protecting the environment.